call this beat Will Smith, cause it slaps hard. Hear it not when I pull up on your boulevard.
So I've talked extensively on this channel about how women need 2 to 3 months to solidify their feelings. And to a lot of guys, that seems really slow. Like, guys think, wait a minute. So I've gone on 2 or 3 dates with her. We've had a great time together. I'm already starting to feel the feels. And you're telling me I got to wait another 2.5 months for her to want to be in a relationship, for me to be able to express my feelings to her and tell her how much I care about her. Like, I got to wait. Like, but 3 months is so far away. Now, I try to express, in the grand scheme of your life, if you're with a woman for 30, 40, 50 years, if you look at dating and being with somebody in that capacity, of that time frame, 3 months is a drop in the bucket. It is nothing. It is no time. 3 months goes by like that, except when we have a high interest in somebody and our feelings get involved. And on a day-to-day, we're thinking, I want to be with them. What do they feel about me? How do they like me or not? And it can be very, very nerve-wracking, right? So I want to talk today about the importance of being able to slow down dating. Because here's the thing, guys. I have found in my dating life that once I was able to apply things like patience and do certain actions that allowed me to not make it feel like such a rush process for the woman, that women more often than not were coming to me trying to then do actions that would progress the dating relationship or whatever we were doing at the time, leading up to when they would come to me and ask me to be in a relationship. But how does that happen? How do you get a woman to come to you and ask for the relationship instead of you doing the opposite? And it's very simple. If you're going at a pace that is slightly slower than hers, then you will find that it's going to cause her to let you know unequivocally when she's ready to move forward and take certain steps. So what I'm gonna start off with doing is I'm gonna read a couple of responses I got under videos of men that are having problems in situations because they are rushing the process. So this first one was put under my pull-away test video. And this guy said, the attraction, communication, and time spent together was heavy at first. And she even said she put me first over her family at the beginning. And now she's trying to break the habit of doing that and trying to find the balance again. Basically, the third reason I said in the video about how women, part of the reason they pull away is because after they spent a good amount of time with you, they start to realize, but wait, I have family and friends. I haven't talked to her forever. I need to take away some of the time with him to reconnect with my friends and family because they're also important to me. He says, but I don't know if I can truly handle it with my level of impatience. We had a conversation on the phone. It's literally that reason to a T, but oh man. So what's this guy saying? Well, the girl's saying, for one, hey, he's saying in the beginning, she was putting me over friends and family. And this is why I tell you guys that as the guy in the relationship, it is your job to figure out the pace at which this is supposed to go so you can lead her in the right direction. And part of that is you having conversations with her about hey, so we're dating, but are you still talking to your friends? You still hanging out with family? What's that like? If she at all says, well, I've been spending most of my time with you, it sounds great. Admittedly, it's a stroke to the ego that she's sacrificing time with others to hang out with you. But you cannot allow her to do that because what happens is what this guy's going through, where she starts saying, oh, I never see my friends and family and I'm always hanging out with you. And now she's going to start blaming you, even though it was her choice, for not being able to see her friends and family. And so you have to be the one to regulate how much time she's spending with you, which is why I tell you guys, doing things like going on dates and not calling her all the time between dates or spacing out how much you guys see each other is actually a good thing because one, it allows her time away from you to be able to miss you, think about you. But more importantly, it also gives her time to go back to those friends and family and talk you up about what a great guy you are and how she can't wait to see you again and how she's anticipating it and wondering where you're at when you're not around her. But she's doing that with her friends and family. So she can still say, I still feel like I have a balance here because I'm seeing my friends and family while I'm talking about this guy. And then her friends and family be like, oh my God, you're always talking about that guy. Man, he must be so great because we've never heard you talk so much about a guy before. So her actually getting that time only helps to help her build you up to her. So why guys don't understand this is but I get it. Hey, I was new at this too. There was a point in time when I was trying to take all the women's time and I had to find out the hard way that, doing that, it builds resentment. And most women in an attempt to try to be friendly and not combative aren't going to fight you if you're asking them for time. So you have to be the one to be like, hey, if she's not seeing me I can't let it be a blow to my ego. I know she likes me, but she's got a life outside of me. I have to let her do that. But this goes also back to when you're doing that, you're not trying to rush in and take all of her time. So in effect, you're moving slow enough to where she can still see her friends and family, but she's also thinking, man, but I want more of his time. And the only way she's going to be able to get it is if she comes to you and starts suggesting times to see you outside of the current time that you guys are seeing each other. And that's what you want, because when a woman's coming to you and telling you she wants to see more of your time, what she's not doing is pushing you away or telling you, but I see you too much. And that's the thing that you have to learn how to balance, guy. That's the first guy. Then the second guy left a comment under another video, and he says, we're both 24 years old. I've dated this girl for 5 or 6 months. We instantly kicked it off from the first date and would spend time together a few days a week at the minimum, always texting and calling and hooking up. So just the fact that he said we spent a few days together, that's multiple in a row, and we're always texting, we're always calling. This is a guy that is giving too much of himself too soon, and in the process, it's going to feel to a woman like he's trying to rush the process to get her to feel things for him, right? But let's see if that happens. So he says, even though I was progressing faster, well, he should say because I was progressing faster, but he says, even though I was progressing faster, she did want to take it slow in terms of actually being official. But around the 4th mark, I asked her out officially. Now, what do I tell you guys on this show? If you date a girl for 2 or 3 months, you're doing all the right stuff, she's going to come to you. Now, that's on average. There are women that might take an additional 4 or 5 months, but if that's happening, what I found is usually it's because in the course of the first 2 to 3 months, the guy's always there, always talking, always communicating, always texting, and that doesn't give a woman enough time to miss you, and also doesn't give her enough time to anticipate or be anxious about the idea of you two being a couple and her having it be her idea. Because you guys being in a relationship, you already know you want to do it. It needs to be her idea also that she's actually ready to make that move, because women have more stuff to look out for than guys do. So if she's not coming to you yet, your job is not to be like, it's been 4 months, I can't wait anymore, I'm going to rush in. What I tell you, if she's saying yes to dates and you're getting regular hookups, you're good. You're not going anywhere. But if you're doing it too much, then she could be delaying asking you out, because in part, you're there so much, she doesn't get a chance to think about what it would be like without you being there. And that's really an incentive enough for a woman to want to come up to you and say, okay, dude, what are we? You're not giving her the space to have the dude, what are we conversation. So then he said, I did say, I love you. He did say, I love you at the time, but she didn't say it back. Why do you think that is? Because at the time that you said it, she was not fully there yet in terms of her feelings. Because again, she feels as though you're rushing this process for her. And at that point, she didn't say it back at that point, which was fine, because I know people take it slow. And the woman should always be the one to say, I love you first. Don't fall for the stuff that the media says or that these movies say, where like the guy's like in a moment of with his crush, and then he's like, I just want you to know that I really love you. And then she turns to the camera, you love me? Oh my God. I had no feelings like that at all for you. But now that you said it, it doesn't work like that. The reality is you saying I love you more often than not is going to be too soon, and it's going to scare her off. Anyway, he said at that point, we were already acting like boyfriend and girlfriend. Well, no, you were doing things that made it feel as though you guys in a relationship, but she still wasn't there yet. And she was going along with it because she didn't want to hurt your feelings. And also because, admittedly, the media has lied to women too. They see these things happening and think, I should want a guy to do these things or say these things or have these grandeur gestures of love. And yet they always feel weird because it's like, but it's not, it doesn't quite feel right. Like the media is saying, this is what should work on me, but it doesn't feel right. And all that matters are the things you're doing making a woman feel like you're going at the right pace and direction for getting her into a relationship. In this case, he was not. So then he says, then 1 month later, she told me she just doesn't feel that spark. Something is missing, and she sees me as more of a friend. This was tough. This was tough to hear because our families and friends all knew we were dating. Even the week before she broke up with me, we went on really fun dates. We were making plans to see her sister. She was already sending pictures of me to her mom, so it completely blindsided me because it seemed like she was getting attached. Well, even the fact that you said that you were making plans to see her sister, dude, you weren't in a relationship. So until the boyfriend and girlfriend mark gets crossed, you should not be really seeing each other's friends and family. Like, unless she happens to live with a family member or happens to live with some friends, and then by default, you go to pick her up, they're there, you got to see them. But on the whole, the dating phase is meant to be just you two, to see if you guys can really get along, to see if you guys have a bond and a connection. And you're not supposed to be trying to bring other people into this space when you're getting to know somebody. Because, as I've said before, doing that makes it feel too real, too fast, too soon. And even if a woman seems to be going along with it, this is why I say again, you have to be the one to lead in how this relationship is building, because women will do things that they're unaware of are going to actually cause them to start to lose interest, which is why I do a show like this. So you can have knowledge about, hey, a woman might suggest you meet up with her sister, but you got to know that potentially doing that before you're the boyfriend is probably going to turn her off. And she's not going to see that, but all that's going to happen is you're going to meet the sister, and then a week later, I'm just not feeling, but I don't know how this happened. And it's because you did not understand relationship dynamics and how women build attraction, and you thought you could just do anything you wanted to do, and you're finding out now that you can't. So this is why I have a show, so you can learn these things and not make these mistakes, because women don't have to know them. Like, women are the ones that are the receivers of the things that we're doing to try to attract them. They do not have to know the ins and outs of what things are going to turn them off or what not, but you have to know this. Anyway, so he says, okay, I really thought she could be the one because we both found each other attractive, have successful careers already, and similar backgrounds. It's tough. Well, this is why I try to stress to you guys that, like, just because you guys have things that are similar to each other does not a relationship make. So you guys have successful careers. You guys have similar careers. You guys have similar backgrounds. None of these things matter. All that matters is, are the things that you're doing causing her to feel attraction? Your job and where you came from might be small factors in how she feels about you. But if you guys had the same background, but you were like yelling at her or being abusive, then she probably wouldn't be attracted to you. So I stress that to say none of those things actually matter. But what does matter is, when you are dating her, do you know the process of dating, the process of attraction that are going to actually cause her to feel the things that she needs to feel for you to come to the decision of her own accord that she wants to date you? And that's what you have to do.
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-class man. You a high-earning, high-value, high-class man. You a